SublimeCodeIntel is a code intelligence and smart autocomplete engine for Sublime text. Now, while this package has a nice animation on their home screen to show us how it works, we're going to jump right in and just get it installed so we can take a look at it directly. Launch our package manager, install package, search for SublimeCodeIntel, and install. This one takes slightly longer than some of the other packages we've taken a look at. I also wanted to call out that Sublime Text 3 support was added to this package, so it does work. However, if you find some issues with it, you may want to consider reverting back to Sublime Text 2. And we're all installed here. Let's go in. We got a little bit of configuration we need to take care of first. The first thing we need to do is a little bit more Drupal specific, although it could work for other projects as well, as you may run into the same basic situation. For us to have code intelligence for a language such as PHP, we need to make sure that Sublime Text, and therefore the plugin, the package CodeIntel within Sublime Text, knows what files it needs to scan. For PHP within Drupal, it's the files that not only end in .php, but also the files that end in .module, .inc, and .install. The easiest way to do that is to load up a Drupal project. I've already got one here. And we'll go in and we'll start with the .inc file. We'll just take a look at this. Now, I previously had already set it to be the correct syntax. You'll see there's a PHP indicator down here. But what you'll want to do is go up to View, Syntax, open all with current extension as, and select PHP. And you can see where this would be similar for other languages as well. I have heard that some people are having problems with SAS files, for instance, and making sure that those are rendered properly. So you select that for PHP. Let's go in, let's load up a module here. Any one of the core modules will be fine. We'll get a, we already did .inc, so let's do a .install file and a .module file. So for the install, View, Syntax, open all with current extension as, PHP, and aggregator .module. We'll go View, Syntax, open all with current extension as, and select PHP. Now see, it's good that I went through and did this exercise, because whereas I had already set the other two file types, I had not set this particular one. So we'll set that to PHP and just make sure that it opens that way in the future. Now if we were to close these down, open it back up, any one of the .inc files, it's going to automatically put it into PHP mode. Before we start using this package, we do have to restart Sublime Text. So let's close it, open it back up, and what we're going to do is go into the main index.php for Drupal. Now you're coming through, you're reading code, maybe it's code you're not familiar with, you see a method or a function that you want to get more information on or see what it's actually doing. You just right click. There's a keyboard shortcut here you can set if you want. You choose Jump to Symbol Definition. Now the first time we click on this, you'll notice here at the bottom it'll say it's indexing. It's just going through and indexing a bunch of your files to make sure it knows where all these functions are stored. And that was pretty quick. So here we go, Menu Execute Active Handler. That's what we checked over, or we looked at over here, and it took us right to the file and location that was found. We can do the same thing in this file. Say we want to take a look at what Drupal alter does. Takes a moment, and there's Drupal alter. Now if we go back and do that again, because it's been indexed, it should be even quicker. Yeah, it's almost instantaneous. The next thing we're going to turn on is function call help, and you'll see in a moment what I mean by that. So let's close these files down here. We'll open a new file. Let's set the syntax mode to PHP. Now we have a PHP file. Now if we're coming in here and say we need to print something out, or we're going to call substring, and the problem is here is I remember there's a call substring, but say I can't remember what the parameters are. You're not getting much help here. You're constantly having to go back to the documentation, especially if it's functions that you're not using very often. So what we're going to do is turn on some code assist with this. First thing we need to do is go to our Preferences, Package Settings, SublimeCodeIntel, and then Settings Default. I'm going to do that same thing again, only this time under Package Settings, SublimeCodeIntel, we're going to go to Settings User. And all we're going to do here is copy all the settings from default and put them into our user settings and save. Now I have noticed with this particular package, this does hang from time to time when setting up this file for the first time. We'll just force quit that and come back in. So the part that we want to pay attention to, there's a bunch of different settings in here you can change. We're going to take a look at CodeIntel selected catalogs. And that code assist I was referring to right now, it's going for Python 132, jQuery, and Rails. All we have to do is add PHP in here. Save that. Now we do need to restart Sublime Text one more time. Launch Sublime Text. Let's start a new file, and let's actually save this so we do have that file extension just to be sure that it's going to be picked up properly. We'll save this. I'll put it on my desktop. We'll call this test.php. And we'll start a function, test. Now in here, if I were to try the substring call again, you see first of all we're getting some help here by this drop down. And if we actually select this here, you'll see not only does it fill the rest of the method name for us, the function name for us, but then it also gives us what the different parameters are that it's expecting, and even highlights the first one for you so you can start typing. You hit tab to go to the next parameter, enter it in, and you're done. And as you can see now, between these two features, just with the jumping around from where our function's defined and then the code assist, this really starts to bring some more of those full-featured IDE features that you like to use into a nice, fast, lightweight editor like Sublime Text that you can use very versatilely for a lot of different programming languages. And as I mentioned in another video, I even use this for all my Markdown editing as well.